Okay, welcome to yoga, everybody. I'm just going to move that a little bit. Okay, so today's class, we're going to work with Anahata Chakra, and we're going to be thinking about self-care because I think it's important to look after yourselves at the moment, with, especially if you're on your own, or we've got to think about, and it's not being selfish thinking about ourselves, it's being self-aware and selfless, really, to think about ourselves as well as thinking about others. So Anahata Chakra is the fourth chakra, and it's located in the spine behind the heart center. So opening Anahata produces like a deep sense of love for everyone and everything. So it's about loving yourselves as well as loving, others. And when you open Anahata Chakra, there's a deep sense of acceptance and unconditional love. So the Anahata Chakra, it's symbolized by a blue lotus with 12 petals. And because it's sort of in the middle of the chakras, so it's a midpoint between the lower states and the higher sense of self-awareness. So let's get started. We'll start with our usual chanting. So if you're not used to chanting, just hum or listen. If you don't know the words, just go along with it and do what, it's not about chanting the words, it's about feeling the vibrations. So even if you just hum, you'll feel the vibrations from your throat, and that will be settling your body. Okay, so we're going to start with a sort of a chakra settling, and then we'll chant 5 rounds of the mantra Om, 5 rounds of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, and 5 rounds of the Gayatri mantra. So just making sure that you're sitting nice and comfy, and you can feel those lower limbs supporting the body. Make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall and straight, and your shoulders are relaxed, and the crown of your head lifting up to the space above you. So starting to notice your breath. So notice your breath in the nostrils to start with. Just notice any sensations you can feel in the nostrils. And just gently let all the skin on your face soften. Softening the eyes and all around the eyes. Softening your jaw. Just let your tongue lie loosely in your mouth. And take your awareness to the floor of the pelvis at Muladhara Chakra. Chakra of stability and rootedness. At the floor of the pelvis. And taking your awareness up to the center of the pelvis now, to Swadhisthana Chakra. The center of creativity. Breathing into that space, taking your awareness now up to the navel center, to Manipura Chakra, at the navel center, sparking that fire of determination within you. Manipura Chakra, at the navel center. Just breathing into that space. Taking your awareness now up to Anahata Chakra at the heart center, the center of unconditional love, light and wisdom. Just breathing into that space. And taking your awareness up to the throat, to Vishuddhi Chakra, the center of our communication. Vishuddhi Chakra gives you the peaceful resonance with all other sounds. Just breathing into that space at Vishuddhi Chakra at the throat center. And taking your awareness up to Agya Chakra at the eyebrow center, the center of your eyebrows. The eyebrow center, the eye of intuition. Breathing into that space at the eyebrow center. For a clearer awareness of yourself and connection to the universe. And then taking your awareness up to the crown center, Sahasrara Chakra. And feel a sense of expansion. The center of the head expanding into the space above you. Just breathing gently and quietly. And we'll chant the mantra Om 5 times together, followed by 5 rounds of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra and 5 rounds of the Gayatri mantra. Taking a breath in. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Uvarikamiva Bandhanat Mritu Makshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Uvarikamiva Bandhanat Mritu Makshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Uvarikamiva Bandhanat Mritu Makshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Uvarikamiva Bandhanat Mritu Makshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Uvarikamiva Bandhanat Mritu Makshiyamamritat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavito Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yunaha Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavito Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yunaha Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavito Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yunaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavito Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yunaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavito Vareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yunaha Prachodayat. And then gently rubbing the tips of your fingers across your thumb, or your thumb across the tips of your fingers. And start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then gently opening your eyes. So we're going to start with placing your one hand over your heart and the other one over the top. So just make sure your shoulders are relaxed still and your spine is nice and straight. So we're going to inhale, open the arms wide, and take the chin up towards the ceiling. Hold the breath in for a moment, and then exhaling, bringing the palms back to your heart center, tucking your chin in, remembering which hand was on top and placing the other hand on top, and just dipping your head. So inhaling, arms out to the side, chin up towards the ceiling. Hold the breath in for a moment, and then exhaling, swapping over the hands, taking the chin down, tucking the chin in, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. And 3 more times, inhaling, opening wide, chin up. Hold the breath in for a moment. Exhaling, palms back to your heart center, swapping over the hand that's on top, tucking your chin in, holding the breath out for a moment at the end of the exhalation. And twice more. And then when you've completed your 5 rounds, then lengthening your legs out in front of you, giving your legs a little wiggle. So we're just going to start with giving our feet a little massage. So a little bit of self-care for your feet. So just taking your right foot and just give the sole of your foot a little massage. So you're massaging the ball of your foot and all your toes. Get in between each toe and squeeze them. Give your feet a nice little bit of love and attention. Feet are very important to us. They hold us up all day. Massaging the arch of the foot and the heel, and maybe just a little bit of the ankle as well. And then while you've got your foot, you could put your foot over onto your thigh and place your fingers between each toe. So you're almost like you're holding hands with your foot. And then we're going to rotate the foot and then go the opposite way. And then just take hold of your foot and give it a little wobble. See how nice and loose that foot can be. Give it a little wobble. And then placing that foot down. We do the same with the other foot. So the left foot this time, start to massage the foot. Nice massage in the ball of the foot and then the toes. Massage each toe individually. Give them a good squeeze. And then the arch of the foot and the heel. Give your ankle a little bit of a massage as well. And then place that foot on the thigh. Put your fingers in between each toe. Hold hands with your toes. And then we're going to work five rounds or so in one direction. And 5 rounds in the opposite direction. And then just pick up that leg and just give your foot a little wobble. See how wobbly your foot can be. Nice floppy, loose foot. And then gently place that leg down. And then come to lay down on your backs with your knees bent and your knees up. Your knees bent and your feet near to your buttocks. So you're going to place, so make sure your knees are together and your ankles are together. You're going to place one hand on top of the other at your heart center. So we're going to work with a variation of Surya Pushpam. So I'll just explain first. So you're going to, as you inhale, you're going to open your arms wide out to the side and at the same time open your knees wide. And then as you exhale, bring your palms back, one hand over your heart and the other one over the top and your knees back together. And then the next step is to take your arms out to about 10, if you imagine a clock, 10 past and 10 to, opening your knees wide as well at the same time, bringing your palms back to your heart center and your knees back together. And then inhaling for the 3rd time, knees wide, and then your arms up about 5 past and 5 to. Exhaling, palms back to your heart center. But each time you bring your hands back to your heart center, make sure you're swapping over the hand that's on top. So inhaling and opening your arms wide out to the side, opening your knees wide at the same time, placing the soles of the feet together. Hold the breath in for a moment. And then exhaling your palms back, changing the palm that's on top back to your heart center and your knees back together. So then on the next inhalation, taking your arms out to 10 past and 10 to, knees wide. Hold the breath in for a moment. And then exhaling your palms back to your heart center with the opposite hand on top. And knees back together. And then inhaling your arms up to 5 past and 5 to, Opening your knees wide, hold the breath in for a moment. So taking your arms all the way over to the floor behind you, and then exhaling your palms back to your heart center and your knees back together. So just working 2 further rounds in that way. Taking your arms all the way to the floor as you take your arms out to 10 past and 10 to. Exhaling your palms back to your heart space. Taking your arms all the way over to the floor behind you as you take your arms up to the 5 past and 5-2 position. And then when you've completed the practice, lengthening the right leg along the mat, keeping the left knee bent and the left sole of the left foot near to your buttocks. The left hand on your heart space and the right hand on the floor by the side of your body. So the right hand on the floor, the right arm beside your body, the right leg straight, the left knee bent, and the left hand on your heart space. So as you inhale, you're going to raise your right leg and your right arm. So you're going to take your right arm over to the floor behind you and your right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, returning your arm to the side of the body and the leg back down to the floor. So what your focus is going to be on, as you inhale, notice your chest opening. So you can feel with your left hand your chest opening, and exhaling back down to the floor. But your arm and your leg are going to come to the floor at the same time. So as you inhale, you're taking your arm up over to the floor behind you and your leg up towards the ceiling. Your leg and your arm are going to reach the final point at the same moment. And then on the exhalation, your leg and your arm comes down at the same moment, reaching the floor. But at the same time, you're noticing with your left hand, your chest opening. It's just going to be a very subtle movement, just noticing that the air in your chest. So 5 rounds on the right side. Be aware that your arm has got further to move than the leg. Nice, easy movement. Noticing the pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. And when you've worked 5 rounds on the right side, I'm going to change sides. So placing the right hand on the chest and the left arm and the left leg are moving. Left leg moving towards the ceiling and the left arm over to the floor behind you. So 5 rounds on the left side. When you've completed the practice, just sliding the right leg away from you. Noticing how your body feels. Notice how your breath feels. Notice any sensations in the body. And then bending the left knee, placing the sole of the left foot near to the buttocks. And then bringing the right knee towards the chest. And just putting your right hand on your right knee. Your left arm beside the body. So you're just going to take the right knee round in circles. Nice little circles to start with, and then gradually getting bigger. And don't worry about your the rest of your body moving. So you don't need to anchor your hips to the floor. You can just be nice and relaxed and allow the hips to move with the knee. And then change direction. And then when you feel that you've worked in both directions equally, then come to stillness. And then raise the right leg up so that the sole of the foot is towards the ceiling. And I'm just going to do some little, do a little self massage on your legs. So just gently smoothing the thigh, just giving yourselves a gentle stroke. It's like a stroking, and then go up towards the shin and the calf, just stroking all down the leg. And then give yourselves a little massage at the back of your knee. It's really good for your legs to have all of it. Sort of encourages all of the cells and the everything else to travel back up towards your heart to be cleansed and refreshed. All the cells. And then just gently placing that leg down and lengthen that, just placing that foot down and the sole of the foot near to the buttocks, and the left leg, straighten the left leg along the mat. And then bringing the left knee towards the chest, taking hold of the left knee with the left hand, and then starting to make some small circles with the left leg. Again, it doesn't matter if your hips move, just allow the whole movement, your body to move with the circles. Just breathing gently as you work, making nice circles with the knee. Make sure you've got your chin tucked in. Just check your shoulders are relaxed. And then work in the opposite direction. And then when you feel that you've worked in both directions equally, and lengthening the leg, straightening the leg up towards the ceiling, pushing into the heel, and then once more giving your legs a little stroke, stroking the legs, so encouraging all the cells and the blood to move back up towards the heart to be rejuvenated and refreshed. So downward stroking movements, and then moving up towards the lower leg. And then give the back of your knee a little massage. And then placing that leg down, lengthening your legs away from you. And just spend a moment just noticing how your body feels. And then coming over to lay down, turning over onto your front. So your arms at the side of the body and the chin to the floor. And so you're going to interlock your fingers behind your back. So we're preparing for the snake pose. So interlocking your fingers behind your back. And then you're going to breathe into your abdomen. And then raise your arms and raise your head and shoulders, straightening your elbows. Make sure your legs are nice and relaxed and your buttocks relaxed. And then exhaling, releasing down to the floor. So I'll talk you through. So you're going to, you're interlocking your fingers behind your back. Just checking that your buttocks are relaxed, your legs are relaxed. So you're breathing into your abdomen. When you've breathed into your abdomen, you're going to raise your arms, stretch your arms behind you, come up on, raise your shoulders and your head. Hold the breath in for as long as you comfortably can, and then when you need to exhale, releasing back to the floor. And working 4 more times. Inhaling first into the abdomen, raising your arms, raising your head and raising your shoulders. Exhaling, releasing back to the floor. When you've completed the practice, just relaxing, making pillows with your hands, placing the back of your hand, placing your forehead on the back of your hand. And placing your hands just underneath your shoulder blades, forehead to the floor. So we're preparing for the cobra pose. So just checking that your buttocks are relaxed and your legs are passive on the floor. So you're going to inhale into your abdomen and then raise your head and shoulders, coming up as far as it feels comfortable, pressing into the hands, keeping your shoulders relaxed, keeping your elbows in, holding the breath in for a moment, and then exhaling, lowering gently, forehead back to the floor. So inhaling into the abdomen, raising your head and shoulders, coming up into the cobra pose. Make sure you don't strain, keep your elbows tucked in, make sure your shoulders are relaxed, your legs are passive, and then exhaling, gently releasing back down to the floor. So working 5 rounds altogether. Make sure you only go as far as your body feels is right. Make sure you keep your elbows tucked in. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, buttocks relaxed and your legs relaxed. Make sure you're being kind to your body. When you've completed your 5 rounds, make pillows with your hands, place your forehead on the back of your hand. And notice how your body feels. Notice the breath in your abdomen. Notice the contact of the body on the floor. And then coming up onto your hands and knees. Just watching for a moment because I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so we're going to start with your on your hands and knees, and you're going to tuck your toes under. Going to come up into Parvatasana, so you're going to lift your knees, take your your chest back to your thighs, and float your hips high. Now, once you've arrived at this position, you're going to move your left foot in towards the center, raise your right leg, and then take your right knee towards your right elbow. Take your right leg over and put it the other side of your left foot. And then you're going to raise your left leg, take your left leg to your elbow, and then place your left foot next to your right foot on the other side. So just going to do that a few more times. So elbow, knee to elbow, take your foot over. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'll talk you through it. So just make sure that you've got your hands are spread and your weight is in that fleshy part between your index finger and your thumb, and that your knees are underneath your hips to start with. So tuck your toes under, and then lift your knees a little off the floor. Take your chest towards your thighs, and then straighten your legs so that your hips will float up high. Now, if this is a little bit strong, don't overstrain yourself. So take your left foot and place it in the middle of where your hands would be. So it's over towards the right foot a little bit more. You're going to raise the right leg and then bring the right knee towards the right elbow. So you're going to lean forward a little bit and then take that foot across, place it on the other side of the left foot. So you've got your legs crossed. Then you're going to raise your left leg and take your left knee towards your left elbow, and then cross your foot across. So it's on the other side of the right foot. And then just working twice more, if it feels okay. So don't strain. It's quite a strong practice. If this is a little bit too strong, the alternative is to just bring your knee stay on your hands and knees, bring your knee towards your elbow, and then raising up your leg. So you can just bring your knee towards your elbow and straighten your leg just from hands and knees if that feels more appropriate for you. And then when you've completed the practice, coming into the child's pose, opening your knees wide, big toes together, and then put your arms out in front of you, forehead to the floor if you can, or otherwise just make fists of your hands and placing your forehead on your fists. Or you can place a cushion underneath your head, if that feels more comfortable. Just coming to the child pose and just allowing the body to rest for a moment. Notice how your body feels. And then coming up to kneeling high on your knees. So we're going to work with the half camel pose. Just to position this right. Okay, so we're going to work with the half camel. So we're going to make sure that you're standing up nice and tall on your knees. Turn your toes under. So we're going to inhale, and as you inhale, just notice the chest expanding. Just allow your arms to hang loose by your sides, and then just move your hips forward a little bit as you just reach back for your heel. So keeping your hips straight forward, just going to reach back for your heel, your right heel, and then inhale back again. So you're inhaling into the chest, and then as you exhale, reaching back for your right heel, and then inhaling back up. Make sure you don't strain. So just working 5 times altogether with the right hand going towards the right heel. And then working 5 times with the left hand going towards the left heel. So you're inhaling first, opening the chest, just pushing the hips forward a little. As you exhale, reach for that left heel. Make sure you keep your hips forward, inhaling back. So 5 times on the left side. Make sure your shoulders are still pointing forward, so you're not twisting, you're keeping that, the shoulders forward, the hips forward. You're pressing the hips forward a little bit as you lean back. Just keep looking forward. And then when you've worked 5 times on each side, uncurling your toes, coming back into the child pose, opening your knees wide, and then folding forward and relaxing into the child pose, making fists with your hands if you need to, placing your forehead on a cushion if you need to. Just whatever feels comfortable. And just allowing the body to settle. Noticing how your body feels. And then coming up onto your knees, tucking your toes under, coming into a little squat. Arms out in front of you and rise up to standing. Okay. Just spend a moment connecting with your feet to the ground. So just standing with your feet about hip distance apart and noticing all your 10 toes and the heel, that horseshoe shape of the heel on the floor. And then taking your weight forward a little bit, keeping your heels on the floor. Taking your weight back a little bit, keeping your toes on the floor. And then find that center of balance between your feet and your heels. Taking your weight over towards the right, keeping your left foot on the floor, but just taking your weight across. Taking your weight across to the left, keeping your right foot on the floor. And then finding the balance between the left and the right. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your knees, so you've got nice soft knees. And then you're just going to take your hands behind you and interlock your hands behind your back. Really opening the chest, so you're inhaling, opening the chest. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold forward into a double angled pose and raise your arms as far as they feel comfortable, keeping your head in line with your spine, a nice flat back. Holding the breath out for a moment, and then when you're ready to inhale, coming back up on an inhalation. So working 4 more times, inhaling, opening the chest, reaching the arms behind you, and then exhaling, folding halfway, letting the arms go as far as they can up, keeping your head in line with your spine, and then inhaling, coming back up to the center. So 5 times altogether. Releasing your arms when you've completed the practice. Stand for a moment, notice how your body feels. So preparing to work for the one-legged prayer pose, just going to take your weight over into the left foot and feel the right foot becoming lighter and lighter. Really ground your left foot into the ground and then gently start to peel the right foot up so that the right knee comes up in front of you. And then open your knee out to the side, and you can either place your foot somewhere on your at the top of your leg or your calf, but don't place it in the middle on the knee joint. And then bring your palms together at your heart center. If you need to keep your toe on the floor, that's fine. You can keep your toe by your ankle. Just make sure you've got your knee out to the side, and you can feel your fingertips and your hands together at feel your thumbs in your sternum. And taking 5 nice easy breaths here. Focusing on a spot that won't move. And then coming down when you've taken your 5 breaths. Notice how your body feels. And then start taking your weight into your right foot. Start to feel your left foot becoming lighter and lighter. Start to peel the left foot up, the left knee coming up in front. And then take the knee out to the side. Place the foot somewhere on your, either on your lower leg or your upper leg, or keep the toe on the ground, just placing the foot near the ankle. And then place your palms together at your heart center. Taking 5 nice easy breaths. Just working one further round on each side. Just focusing on that spot that won't move. And then coming up onto your toes, arms out in front of you, coming down to squat down, coming down to sitting. So we're going to work with the sitting twist. So have your legs stretched out in front of you. Make sure that you can pull away the fleshy parts from your sitting bones, sitting up nice and tall. So you're going to take your left leg over your right leg and place it the other side of your right knee. So you're going to wrap your right arm around your left leg and then inhale, take your left arm behind you. And then as you exhale, it's going to take your tummy first, then your chest, and then gently look over your left shoulder. And then inhaling back to the center. Lengthening the left leg away from you, coming back. Taking your right leg over your left leg, placing the right leg on the other side of the left leg, wrapping your arm around your right leg, and inhaling your right arm behind you, lift up out of the pelvis. And then exhaling, taking your tummy first, then your chest, looking over your right shoulder. Hold the breath out for a moment, and then inhaling, untwisting, coming back to the center. Lengthening the leg away from you. So we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to stay there and breathe, take 5 easy breaths. So with the left leg, placing the left foot over the top of the right leg, the other side of the right knee. Wrapping your right arm around your leg. Inhaling your left arm behind you. Lifting up out of the pelvis. And then exhaling, taking your tummy first, then your chest, looking over your left shoulder. And then stay there for 5 easy breaths, or up to 5 breaths. If 5 breaths is too many, come back before then. And then inhaling, untwisting. Working in the same way on the other side. And exhaling, taking 5 easy breaths. Okay, so we're going to work again, but this time we're going to twist in the opposite direction. So taking your left leg across your right leg, placing the left foot the other side of the right knee. So this time you're going to take your right arm behind you, lift up out of the pelvis, and then place your left hand on the floor, and then gently exhaling round, holding the breath out for a moment, and then inhaling back to the center. Changing your legs. So the right leg over the left leg, the right foot the other side of the left knee. And this time you're going to inhale, taking your left arm behind you. Lift up out of the pelvis. Place the right hand over on the left side of you. And then exhaling, taking your tummy first, then your chest. And then looking over your left shoulder. Hold the breath out for a moment. And then untwist, coming back to the center. So we're going to do that again, but this time stay in the twist for up to 5 breaths. So the left leg over the right leg. Inhale, the right hand behind you. Lift up out of the pelvis. The left hand goes on the floor on the right side. And then exhaling, twisting to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Staying there for 5 easy breaths. Untwisting on an inhalation. And then just working on the other side. So inhaling, the left arm behind you. Right hand goes on the left side of you. Inhale, lifting up out of the pelvis. And then exhaling, twisting, looking over the left shoulder blade. Staying there for up to 5 breaths. And then coming back on an inhalation. And then coming to a comfortable sitting position so that we can be comfortable while you do some pranayama practice. So we're going to work with the Tibetan Brahmari breath. So you're going to place your, I'll just show you first. So you're going to place your hands at your heart center and just making sure that your shoulders are relaxed, spine is nice and straight. And you're going to inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to hum the breath out and take your hands up across your face, over the back of your head, and place your palms over your ears as you finish the end of the exhalation. So it'll be a little bit like this. And then you inhale your palms back together. So you're exhaling. inhaling, palms back together. So we're going to work 10 rounds of the Tibetan Brahmari breath, but we'll first of all just connect with the breath. So if you just make sure you're sitting up nice and straight, hands on your knees. You can either have your hands on your knees or you can start with your palms at your heart center. It doesn't really matter. So just connecting with the breath to start with. Noticing the breath entering and leaving your body. Just notice the quality of the breath now at the end of the class. Notice the breath going into the chest. Notice the chest expanding with the breath, expanding and contracting. Then when you're ready, starting your 10 rounds of Brahmari, the Tibetan Brahmari breath, placing your palms together at your heart center, breathing in, and then breathing out, humming the breath out as you take your hands over your face, over the back of your head, placing the palms of your hands on your ears as you continue humming the breath out. So we're just going to finish the class by doing a short meditation on the Anahata chakra. So you can either remain sitting up or you can lay down if you prefer. So if you're sitting up, you're going to put your hands into Hridaya Mudra, which is the tip of the index finger at the root of the thumb, and the tips of the ring finger and the middle finger touching the tip of the thumb, and the little finger outstretched. So it looks a little bit like this. So the index finger at the root of the thumb, the middle finger and the ring finger touching the tip of the thumb, and the little fingers outstretched. So just start to soften the skin all around the face and the eyes and the mouth and the jaw. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. The spine is nice and straight. The sitting bones grounding into the earth. And starting to notice the expansion of the chest as you breathe in and out. Notice the chest expanding and contracting with the breath. Just noticing the breath in the nostrils and the breath expanding and contracting. The chest expanding and contracting with the breath. And become aware of that space, that the Anahata point in the middle of the chest, at the in the spine. So it's behind the chest, in the spine, that Anahata point, chakra point in the spine. Just feel as if the breath is being pulled in and out of the chest. As you're aware of the chest expanding and contracting with the breath, feel that the breath is being pulled in and out of the chest as it expands and contracts. And feel the breath as if it's being pulled outwards from the Anahata Chakra in the spine. As you breathe in, and as you breathe out, just imagine that the out breath is coming back out through the front of the chest. So as you breathe in, feel the breath being pulled outwards from Anahata Chakra in the spine. And as you breathe out, feel the breath being pushed inward through the front of the chest towards Anahata Chakra in the spine. As you breathe in, the breath is being pulled outwards from Anahata Chakra in the spine, out through the front of the chest. And as you breathe out, feel the breath being pushed inwards through the front of the chest towards Anahata Chakra in the spine. Focus on the breath being pulled in and out of the chest as the chest expands and contracts with the breath. As you breathe in, feel the breath being pulled outward from Anahata in the spine, out through the front of the chest. As you breathe out, feel the breath being pushed inward through the front of the chest towards Anahata Chakra in the spine. As on the breath in, feel the breath being pulled outward from Anahata in the spine, out through the front of the chest. As you breathe out, feel the breath being pushed inward through the front of the chest, in towards Anahata Chakra in the spine. Letting go of that practice now, just allow the breath to be spontaneous and natural. Just noticing the stillness of the body. And starting to externalize the mind now, becoming aware of your surroundings. Becoming aware of the room that you're in. Becoming aware of the walls, the floor, the ceiling, the doors. Be aware of any sounds you can hear. The practice of Anahata Shuddhi is now complete. And when you're ready, just rubbing the thumbs across the fingertips. Becoming aware of making some small movements with your fingers, wiggling your toes. And then if you're lying down, just coming to a comfortable sitting position. Stretching any bits of the parts of the body that need to be stretched. Moving anything that needs to be moved. And we'll finish by chanting the mantra Om 3 times together. Taking a breath in. And then rubbing the palms of your hands together to create some heat in the palms, placing your warm palms over your closed eyelids. And then opening your eyes into the darkness, allowing some chinks of light to come in through your fingertips, and then drawing your hands down to your laps when you're ready. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for joining me today, and we say Namaste.